the Tuttle Creek Ahrama, the Stonehouse. Welcome.
Lord, I'm not worthy to receive you, but only say the word, and I shall be healed. This is the history of the ashram, located in the Sierra in Lone Pine, California, by Doroethy Leonard. There are very few of us who remember the building of the ashram, and so before the mythology that is developing because too far afield, I am putting down a skeletal history. These are my own direct memories, or from the memoirs of Franklin and Sharifa Wolf. In 1928, Franklin and Sarah Sharifa Wolf, filled with a mutual dedication toward each other and toward a spiritual ideal felt deep within, hiked into Hunter's Bat, currently named Whitney Portal. This location is at the base of Mount Whitney, which at that time was the highest mountain in the U.S. This was before Alaska, with Mount Denali, became a state. At this time, Franklin and Sharifa had been married only 5 or 6 years. They packed their tent, typewriters, and camping supplies onto a couple of burros from a nearby Olivas ranch. They set up camp at the base of the waterfalls that filled the small lake. It was here that Franklin Wolf began his first book, Re-Embodiment. Sharifa was also an author and was involved in writing insightful articles as well as a small Sanskrit dictionary called Devanagari. Because of this 2-month camping experience, the Wolves decided to spend more time in the mountains. They believed the teachings that stated that the most beautiful space is the highest place. The Forestry Service had stated that in order to spend any real length of time camping in that area, a structure would have to be built. Building permits were not available at Hunter's Flat, so Franklin and Sharifa explored the next nearest canyon, Tuttle Creek Canyon. Here, the beauty of the pine trees, the clear, cold creek, the remoteness and serene quiet would provide the perfect atmosphere for the project. The school, they thought, would be a place of religious or spiritual education and worship, which would be non-denominational and non-sectarian. As Franklin Wolf and a couple of friends from Los Angeles cleared off a space on which to build, Wolf decided to use the natural stone as the main building material. Cement was carried in on burros and mixed daily. The building is 2,000 square feet and in the form of a balanced cross, signifying equilibrium. Dr. Wolf was lecturing at that time in various cities across the United States. He had engagements in Los Angeles. Their home was in San Fernando. He had engagements in Chicago, Des Moines, Milwaukee, etc. Soon there were many who became interested in his teachings and groups were formed. Some volunteers joined in the effort of building the ashram. Gene Sedgwick, who was a concert violinist from Chicago, would travel to Lone Pine on his motorcycle in order to help. Jim Briggs, Sharifa's son, built the fireplace. Sharifa joined in mixing the cement. In a year or so, others joined, so that there would be so many people, as many as 30, camping there. They lived in large tents and had communal meals. They worked hard during the day and studied or listened to Gene play his violin or guitar around the campfire at night. Initially, the group would, with the Olivas burro, travel into the canyon from the north side. However, soon Franklin Wolf began clearing a dirt access road, beginning from the top, he said, on the south side of the canyon. This road is now just a footpath. Dynamite was used for clearing and later for some stone for the walls. Wolf was the main dynamite expert. Briggs and Pete Geschel, both mining engineers, later would join in that task. Eventually the road was adequate so that a tractor and a small flatbed trailer would carry supplies and sometimes people all the way up. The burros lost their job. Throughout the years, the name of this building changed from summer camp to Rama Sangha School to Ashrama. The Lone Pine residents refer to it as the monastery, and the hiker's manual calls it the Stonehouse. About 1930, the 4 cardinal pillars were constructed. The altar was the first major project. It did not have an inscription at that time. In the 1960s, an unknown visitor chiseled the following: Father, into thy eternal wisdom, all creative love and infinite power, I direct my thoughts. Give my devotion and manifest my energy that I may know, love, and serve thee. In subsequent years, the stonework, stone fireplace, heavy beamed roof, window casings, and door casings were completed. Before the windows and doors could be added, work ceased. This was due to the fact that Sharifa could no longer make the trip, and as Franklin Wolf stated, she was the main impetus behind this project. This was 1950. Friends, family, and visitors would often visit and clear the area of debris, thoughtless campers or hunters left behind. In 1963, the Wilderness Area Act included this area of Tuttle Creek Canyon. At that time, the Forest Service seriously considered dynamiting the building. To comply with the 1963 Act, Dr. Wolf wondered if the initial contract couldn't supersede this, and some Lone Pine residents pleaded their case. About 1970, a video crew from Los Angeles came in to make a video to further help the case of saving the ashrama. Today, the Forestry Service in Lone Pine seems to understand this substantial history. A request for the ashrama to be declared a national monument with a detailed description and history was sent to the Sacramento officials. People who visit the ashrama today all seem to feel the spiritual presence there, as well as marveling over the historic accomplishment. It is a wonderful hike up the trail, across the rushing creek, and into a very peaceful and impressive great space. The Tuttle Creek Ahrama, the Stonehouse. Welcome.
I'll watch the twilight shadow from the ceaseless march of the moon. Ah-hey-oh, hi-oh. Now that I have come to your lodge, I'll follow the rising sun. Hey-ha-ha, hey-ha-ha, hey-oh. You'll watch the twilight shadow from the ceaseless march of the moon. Ah-hey-oh, hi-oh. Now that we have come to my lodge, we'll follow the rising sun. Hey-ah, hey-ah, hi-oh.
The Tuttle Creek Ahrama, the Stonehouse. Welcome.